Hey everyone, it's Elliot Peters back with another impressions video, and this time I decided to do something a little bit different. I kind of reached a point where I've done impressions for all of the different fandoms that I'm currently a part of, but that hasn't stopped you guys from continuing to comment your favorite franchises. So I kind of figured, why not take a look at some of the characters from your favorite movies and TV shows and try my hand at doing impressions of them without ever having seen a single part of any of them. So today I'm going to be doing impressions of characters from Game of Thrones without ever having seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. It's totally just for fun, and comment down below whether or not I was anywhere close. Without further ado, here are my first impressions of Game of Thrones. Okay, so popular Game of Thrones characters, there's the one that I have heard a lot about is Jon Snow. Apparently he's like a fan favorite character, so we're gonna look up a picture of Jon Snow real quick. Oh, he's edgy. Okay. He wears a lot of fur, apparently, which really blends into his long black curly hair, kind of dark and mysterious edgelord. He's definitely a badass in some ways, and I can see a little leather underneath all that fur. I'm going to guess that Jon Snow speaks very slowly and very methodically. He may be a kind of warrior, perhaps even a knight or a barbarian of sorts. Jon Snow quotes. I'm not sure whether or not these are quotes from the books or from the show, so I'm just gonna use them no matter what. Don't call me Lord Snow. First lesson, sticking with the pointy end.
A sword for the wall.
You already have one.
Good man. Have you swung it yet?
Of course I have.
At someone, I mean.
So he's got kind of a quiet voice, and he seems like she's really soft spoken. I thought that he would be tougher seeming, but maybe, this is just season 1, so maybe he toughens up as the show goes on, but he seems like he's not very experienced. Now there's another fan favorite character named Daenerys Targaryen. Daenerys Targaryen. I don't know. We're gonna look up a picture of Daenerys. Oh, it's Emilia Clarke. Okay, so I know who Emilia Clarke is, but I don't know if she does a special voice for the character or not, but she's blonde. She's a very blonde Emilia Clarke. Okay. Yes, I've seen her before. I never knew that this was her name. I thought she had another name. Maybe she changes names in the show. I'll end up seeing this show eventually, and then this will all make sense to me. Daenerys probably sounds very regal. She looks very sure of herself and very calm and collected in all of these photos. Daenerys Targaryen quotes. Targaryen. Let me know if I'm saying these people's names right too. Hopefully in future first impressions videos, the names won't be as hard to pronounce. I will not lie to you. That's a short quote. When my dragons are grown, we will take back what was stolen from me and destroy those who wronged me. We will lay waste to armies and burn cities to the ground. She sounds like she's hardcore.
Is it done then? They belong to me.
Satida.
Okay, so she only had one line, but pretty standard Emilia Clarke. She sounds like herself, which makes sense. But I'm thinking about Daenerys in terms of this clip, and she just seems very sullen almost. She's very reserved and kind of scary, actually. I found her a little intimidating, which isn't really what I was getting earlier. I didn't think she seemed all that intimidating, but just watching her stare at people was kind of scary. Sansa Stark. Related to Tony Stark, perhaps? Oh, is Sophie Turner. Okay. So many famous actors are on this show. I've completely forgotten what Sophie Turner sounds like. So she looks, almost royal. She looks very well put together in a lot of these pictures. Almost like she's got some wealth to her. Perhaps someone who's a little higher up on the food chain. Sansa Stark quotes, "This isn't a strange place. This is my home. It's the people who are strange." That's a good line. Oh my gosh, it's Sean Bean.
I'm sending you both back to Winterfell.
What?
Listen.
What about Joffrey?
Are you dying because of your leg? Is that why you're sending us home?
What? No.
Please, Father, please don't.
You can't. I've got my lessons with Sirio. I'm finally getting good.
It isn't a punishment.
She seems a lot younger than I anticipated. Granted, this is probably only season 1. Just from the images that I came across on Google Images, she seemed very powerful and royal. So maybe she does end up marrying Prince Joffrey and becoming queen. Next is Tyrion Lannister. Oh my gosh, okay. I know who these actors are. This is so weird. This is Peter Dinklage. And, oh, he looks scary. Okay. He's pretty tough. He looks kind of rugged. He's got some scars. He's got like this scar that runs across his face. And of course, Peter Dinklage has those piercing blue eyes that are kind of intimidating. He's here to fight, and he will not back down. Tyrion Lannister quotes, "Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you."
I've always wanted to see the wall.
You're Tyrion Lannister. The Queen's brother?
My greatest accomplishment. And you're Ned Stark's bastard, aren't you?
He actually sounds a lot more stately than I anticipated. He's not like the rogue that I thought he would be. He sounds very... I mean, he's obviously of royal blood. He's the brother of the queen, apparently. So, yeah, he sounds very intelligent and educated, almost. He's got a reputation about him, which was not something that I got from those rugged pictures of him earlier. Joffrey Baratheon. Oh, he's got a crown. Okay. So he's kind of got baby face. He's a baby face, but he's also pretty well off. He's very regal. He's got a crown on. Maybe some family of royalty that people come to. He also just has a very young face, though, so I don't know what he sounds like. It's hard to guess. Joffrey Baratheon quotes, "I am the king. I will punish you." Seems pretty intense, Joffrey.
My mother's been looking for you. You ride for King's Landing today.
Before you go, you will call on Lord and Lady Stark and offer your sympathies.
What good will my sympathies do then?
None, but it is expected of you. Your absence has already been noted.
The boy means nothing to me. Oh, I can't stand the wailing of women.
He's a little annoying kid. He's just a little annoying kid. I didn't figure that. He looked very upstanding, but he apparently cannot stand the whining of women. So I'm glad that Tyrion slapped him. Kind of sad. Maybe he gains maturity as the show goes on or something, but definitely an immature, punky little kid. Okay, the last character I'm going to be doing an impression of here is Brienne of Tarth, who... Oh, it's Gwendolyn Christie! Okay, I know who she is. But let me tell you, it was very hard to narrow down which characters to do impressions of, because there are tons of characters in Game of Thrones. A warrior. She's all tricked out. She's got a big sword, and I like that they're not downplaying Gwendolyn Christie's height. They're really using that. She's got this very imposing stature. She looks very honorable. I don't know what her deal is, but yeah, she looks very like she's willing to stand up for what she believes in. She will run you through if you get in her way. Quotes, Brienne of Tarth quotes, "Nothing's more hateful than failing to protect the one you love." That's very heartbreaking, actually.
Don't lunge.
She's got some skills. She's teaching this dude a lesson. Oh!
Don't go where your enemy leads you.
That's probably the one that I was closest with, but I don't have a problem with being totally off base with all the others, because that just means that there's plenty more to explore by watching the show. What did you think? Tell me which one you thought I did the best, and tell me which one you would actually rather hear my voice doing the character than whoever it is who's playing them on the show. Of course, this was all in good fun, but please subscribe to this YouTube channel, share this video with your friends and family, check out the rest of my impressions videos in the description box below, and don't forget to tell your enemies that we are awesome. These have been my first impressions of Game of Thrones.